My name is Travis Garner, and I'm the pastor of student ministries here. And I'm going to start out by introducing our staff people. And I want to say to you that if I were given the job of assembling, from all the people I know, if I were given the job of assembling an all-star team of youth workers to work with middle and high school students, I would pick the people who are here right now. I think we have some of the best youth staff people around. And so I want to introduce those people to you. Lindsay Brooks. Is Lindsay in here? Lindsay will be in here in a minute. I'll just go with who I can see here. Actually, you know what? We'll do this in a more orderly way. You have a sheet on here. Looks like this on the front and this on the back, and it's got a listing of our staff people. There's Lindsay Brooks. Woo! Lindsay's our Associate Director of Student Ministries. Allison Fasig. Woo! Allison coordinates our small groups. Neil Wilkinson. Neil is our newest staff member. He's been here for about 2 weeks from Northern Ireland. David Brooks is back there in the back. Kristen Cole. Kristen, are you in here? Kristen's back in the back. Ann Porter. And Roseanne Shank is in the back table. She's the person you saw to get your packets. And then V. James Wells. And Dawn Peach. Dawn coordinates our cafe. Dawn's back there in the back. Now, this is a long list of people, and it seems like a lot of people. I want to make sure that everybody understands the only true full-time youth staff person on our staff is Lindsay Brooks. She's the only one who is full-time, 100% focused in youth ministry. Everybody else is either half children and half youth. I'm one of the pastors on staff, and so I have some pastoral responsibilities that take some of my time, but everybody else is part-time, and so it's a lot of people, but they're pieced together at different hours throughout the week, and so if you ever call and somebody's not immediately available to you, it's probably because it's not one of their days to be here on site. So I just want to point that out to you. I want to talk about a couple things real quick just to kind of get us started. The first thing is this. You'll see this on this sheet. We like to be really clear about this, what our purpose of our student ministry is. And it's right here. It says, our ministry with students has a clear mission: growing students as disciples of Christ who know Him, love Him, and serve Him. That's what we want to be all about. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of cool activities. There's lots of high energy. There's so many amazing things that happen. But the one thing that we can offer that no other organization can offer is a relationship with Jesus. And so we're really intentional that everything we do, at the heart of it, is about helping us grow and helping our students grow as disciples of Christ. And so hopefully you'll see, and Lindsay will explain more about how our programming fits in with that here in just a little bit, but hopefully you'll see as we go along that that's at the heart of everything that we want to do and accomplish here, is for us to all grow together in our relationship with Christ. There are a couple ways that you can measure that. And the youth staff, we've been wrestling with this issue a lot over the past year and thinking about what does it mean to grow in a relationship with Christ, and what's it mean for a student ministry to be successful in doing that. And one way to measure that is to measure participation in your programs. What are the numbers like? What's it like? How many people are participating? How many people are coming to your events and to Sunday school? How many people are involved in small groups? And that's one way that you can do that, and we take that very seriously. But over the past year, we've been studying and reading a lot of research that's around the issue of sticky faith. And sticky faith basically asks the question, it's not just how many students are participating in your programs now, it's what do the students look like when they go to college? How many of them, when they go to college, is their faith sticking? How many students 5 years after they graduate from your program, how many of them is their faith sticking? And so that's the question that we've started to ask ourselves. How many youth are participating? That's one question. But like I said, a better question is how many youth group graduates remain committed to their faith during college? How many remain committed to their faith 5 years after college? There's a lot of research coming out about this from a lot of different areas. One of those is called the Sticky Faith Initiative, and you can go to stickyfaith.org to check that out. And they've been doing a lot of research, and what they found is approximately 40 to 50% of kids who are connected to a youth ministry when they graduate high school will fail to stick with their faith in college. So imagine for a second, if you were in 8:30 worship this morning, imagine if we had the youth choir stand up, and then we asked half of them to sit down. What the statistics are saying is that's about what's happening. Not just any high school kid, not just people who aren't involved in a church, but seniors who are committed to their youth ministry during their senior year. That's what's happening. 40 to 50% of them are not sticking with their faith 5 years after they graduate from college. And that's a pretty scary statistic for us. However, the good news, there is good news coming out of this initiative. And there are 3 things that the research is showing that if your ministry will be involved in these 3 things, and there are several others, but these 3 things are key to helping more and more students stick with their faith once they graduate. And so I'll go through these and I'll tell you why I'm telling you about this. It's not to scare you. The first is intergenerational relationships. So the research is showing that the more relationships middle and high school students have with adults in the church who care about them, the more likely they are to stick with their faith in college and beyond. Sandra Wiseman is back here in the back. We're starting a new initiative called the Timothy Project. I'm so pumped about this. We're modeling this after the relationship of Paul and Timothy in the New Testament. And the letters 1st and 2nd Timothy are letters that Paul wrote to somebody else who was younger than him, who he was mentoring and helping to grow in his faith and helping to become a pastor in the church. But what we want to do is encourage every person in our church to have a Timothy. And so our long-term goal is that every student in our ministry would have an adult in the congregation who is caring for them, praying for them, checking in on them, somebody in addition to their parents, in addition to their small group leaders. And this is an attempt to increase that number of intergenerational relationships. And so you'll have a chance after we're done to talk to Sandra and sign up to have a Timothy. It's just a simple prayer partner relationship. So that's one thing. The second thing is in actively engaging in faith participation. And so what they're finding is the more actively engaged in faith, in things like mission and service, in things like plugging back into the church. So the more high school students are doing in their church, the more they feel ownership in the church at large, the more likely they are to have sticky faith. And then the third thing, some of you may be surprised to hear this. There was a national study of youth and religion done over the course of 10 years, the last decade, and what they found overwhelmingly, parents are the number one spiritual influence on their kids. Some of you you have relationships with your kids now, and you might question that. You might think that they're not listening to you and they're not watching you. But overwhelmingly, the research is showing that parents are the most important, which we feel good about because it lets us off the hook. We're excited about that. It's all on you. No, but we want to be here and we want to partner with you in every way that we can to help you be the kind of spiritual influence in your homes and with your families that you want to be. And so, I'm telling you about these things because after looking at this research and after studying this and after thinking and praying, we are proposing some minor shifts in some of our programming. And so you're going to hear about some of those. There are some things that we want to do a little bit differently because we want to take this seriously. We don't just want to have a high participation in our programs now. We're really concerned about the stickiness of our youth group graduates' faith. And so you're going to be hearing about some of those things, some things we're doing a little differently as the youth staff comes up and shares. So I'm going to start. Lindsay's going to come up. And Lindsay and Allison and Neil, if you guys would go ahead and just be ready up here, they're going to come share a little bit about some of our programming for the year.
Travis is going to pass out. There's 3 orange buckets, and it says Parent Connect cards on them. So I had a few questions of people about filling those out. We would love for you to fill out those gray Connect cards that are on the seats. If you don't see one, just raise your hand and we'll get one out to you. Yeah, Neil's holding it up. This is the card. We're actually using that for a raffle for y'all for some prizes at the end. So you want to fill it out. There's our incentive to you. We've got some free stuff for you to fill out. Is that a hand up? You need one? Okay. Okay, Roseanne will get one for you and get those, and those can go on the table in the hallway, yeah. So we will be doing that at the end, and so those buckets will just continue to be passed around, and just make sure you get your card in there. Awesome. Okay, so picking back up with the agenda. The first, we're going to kind of look at some of these sheets, and the first sheet we're going to look at is the really bright and colorful one. And on the back side it says Programming with a Purpose. And so it's this really bright two-color or multicolor two-page sheet. So on the Programming with a Purpose side, it has our mission statement at the top. It says, our ministry with students has a clear mission. Growing students as disciples of Christ who know Him, love Him, and serve Him. So that's kind of how we look at all of our programs in the student ministry, is an opportunity for students to know Christ better, an opportunity for students to serve Christ, and an opportunity for students to love both Christ and love their neighbor. And so that's how we program, and we try and look at things and think, when somebody asks us, let's do this, let's do that, we try and kind of funnel it through this lens of, how is this going to help us to know, serve, or love Christ better and to grow in a relationship with Christ that way. So that's how we have things kind of structured and organized. If you flip the page over, it talks about some of our actual programs and what we do, the times they meet, and as Travis said, there's a few different time shifts, and some of those that we're really excited about. And the first thing we're going to share about is Sunday mornings, that first block. So I'm going to have Neil come up and talk about 7th and 8th grade Sunday school and what they do in the junior high room on Sunday mornings. This is Neil.
Okay, we had 169, I think, somebody counted this morning in junior high, which was terrifying, but a lot of fun. Sort of this age group's my particular passion. I became a Christian whenever I was 12, around that age, and so I know that they're asking a lot of questions and they're forming their faith, kind of a knowledge base of their faith at that stage. So what we're doing is kind of working off the confirmation material that we have used. So what you kind of had in snippets in confirmation class, we want to build upon and kind of go further and deeper into an understanding and knowledge base of their faith. So it's mostly about the kind of knowing Christ aspect, and about providing them with a knowledge base and a foundation for their faith. So they should be able to grapple with kind of basic issues and no doubt have lots of questions and things. So the curriculum will be a mix of a couple of materials that we're using to put a program that will further their confirmation material. The program, we want it to be fun, and this morning was mayhem, but we want it to be a lot of fun. We want it to be a place where they are welcome and where they feel relaxed. So it's going to be a kind of a mixture of games, talks, videos, interactive activities. So they're not going to be sitting there listening for an hour, but kind of engaged in that idea of kind of active faith. So we'll be working hard with volunteers to try and keep it fresh, to have different ways to engage with the students. We need help. I didn't ask for this, but we need some more volunteers to be there on a Sunday morning to do a variety of roles, kind of admin, sign up, sign in, teaching, leading games. But for me, most important is kind of what Travis touched on, intergenerational stuff. We need people who are just going to be in amongst the kids, learn their names, play games with them, get involved in activities, and minister to them in that way. So if you're interested in signing up, kind of volunteering for that, I ask that you would see me. And then just to mention the Merge Retreat in October, I have no idea what this looks like yet. I've only arrived. But we're going to be working that out. Even at home, going away on a retreat with your youth group is so important. There's nothing like spending 24 hours a day with your young people. So I would encourage the 7th and 8th graders to be there. It's so important to build relationships with each other and to build relationships with the leaders and to integrate with the ministry. So that's just a little bit about middle school Sunday morning.
And we're really excited Neil's here. He's just kind of had to jump in, just been here about a month now, and he had his first go at it this morning with 169 7th and 8th graders, which I don't know how many of you seem excited about that, but I'm sure Neil did a great job. So anyway, just for that's middle school. They're all together at the 9:45 hour in the junior high room for that hour, those 2 grades. For high school, we'll be together for the next several weeks, and then starting on September 11th, there'll be a few new opportunities for them, which I already had kids kind of excited about this morning. So I'm going to skip ahead to share a little bit about one that kids were like, where do I sign up for that? And I was like, we don't have tables quite yet, but I'm glad you're so eager. But on Sunday mornings, we'll have a couple different class options, as well as the opportunity for high school kids to serve in either elementary school Sunday school, so teaching a kindergarten Sunday school class or a 4th grade Sunday school class and getting plugged in that way. Children's ministry desperately needs volunteers as well, and we've got students who have been asking us for a while that they would love to get to know younger kids, mentor them, and teach. And so we will be having that opportunity. We will do training with them. They've got to sign up and commit to do that, because that is more of certainly a responsibility than just showing up on Sunday morning and kind of being fed, but it'll be an opportunity to serve. So that serves into our serve category with programming. Also on Sunday mornings, they can help if they're in high school with Highway 56. And then if they're a junior or a senior, they can help in the 7th and 8th grade Sunday school room with Neil and help out that way. We're excited about that for transitional purposes. As kids continue to grow up, they're going to know more names. When they go on a retreat, it's going to be less scary. There's going to be a high schooler who has been building a relationship with them. And so they'll have the opportunity to do that about 2 Sundays a month. If they want to do it every week, they can, but we'll actually have sign-ups for that. We'll have a little bit of like an application for that. So I didn't have a table this morning when they were walking around going to the ministry team fair, but I had several asking me. I'm just like, hold your horses, we'll get there. But also for high schoolers and Sunday morning, we'll still have kind of our normal Sunday school in this room that they can come. Whenever they're in town, they can participate. We've got an awesome team of volunteers that are ready to teach and get involved with them in here. But then we also have a little bit of a kind of an introductory type class that will happen out in the cafe, and Greg Clark will be leading that. And that'll be more kind of topical and studying kind of things. We have kids who sometimes they just have questions about how does this issue relate to my faith, and they'll have the opportunity to go through that. We also have 2 great adults, Sue Thornton and Deb Enright, who's in the back, who will be teaching a youth disciple class, because we also have kids ask us for kind of more in-depth Bible study. But you have very busy children. We see this and we know this. And so instead of adding on another hour, they'll have the opportunity to do that at 9:45 and really kind of go deep with their faith. We'll have that on Sunday morning and Wednesday nights as well this fall, a youth disciple. If you're not familiar with it, I'd be happy to explain it more afterwards, but that'll actually happen in this room right here at the 9:45 hour. Starting today, we have youth Sunday school at 11 o'clock. That is for any 7th through 12th graders. We know there's a growing amount of people attending the 9:45 service, and we've had people asking for Sunday school at 11 o'clock. And so we have a really brave volunteer who's in there while all of us youth staff are in here with you this hour. But that is something that will be starting going for any of you who want your kids to be in worship with you. If you happen to attend the 9:45 hour, or you show up, you come later on the Sunday, whatever that may be, we now have Sunday school at 11 o'clock, which we definitely need adult volunteers for that. That's a new opportunity, and we try and be in as many places as once as we can, but nobody's good at that when they try that. So we'd love for your help and support there. So those are opportunities for students on Sunday mornings, and Allison is going to come and share about Sunday nights, and James will share about that as well.
All right. We are so excited about our opportunities for your students on Sunday nights. What you can grab is we're going to be going over this middle section of Sunday nights on this sheet. And then you can also grab this one that's got information about our cafe that happens, as well as this orange sheet right here. This is our master curriculum plan that you can grab. We'll be going over those. All right, so Sunday nights. Sunday nights for 7th through 9th grade and 10th through 12th. Your student has an opportunity to be involved in our snack supper, which is where they eat dinner in our cafe. They have an opportunity to be involved in our small group ministry, which also involves our worship and large group time on Sunday nights, as well as our youth choirs that James will be talking about in a minute. I'm going to go over the schedule. First, I'm going to go over what small groups are, and then we'll go over the schedule. Our small group ministry happens on Sunday night for 7th through 12th graders, and these small groups are broken up by gender and grade, and they are being led by 2 trained adult leaders who are with these small groups on Sunday night. Of 8 to 12 students are in each small group. Okay, so it'll be 8 to 12 students, all 7th grade girls in a group, or all 8th grade girls, and 2 trained adult leaders who will be leading these small groups, okay? As far as our schedule goes, for 7th through 9th graders, you can see that. Snack supper is from 5 to 5:20 in the cafe, and you can look on your sheet for more information about the cafe, what we offer. On Sunday nights, about $5 should cover their meal on Sunday nights. And then at 5:20, the 7th through 9th graders will be coming in here for our worship large group time, okay? It'll be a time of worship, a time for them to be together, 7th through 9th graders. We'll also be opening up our topic for the night that we will be teaching. And this is going to be a really good time for us to really set up and facilitate a really good topic and open it up so that during your small group time, our students are going to have an opportunity with their small group and their leaders to really dive into that topic. And it's going to be a time where everybody's going to be able to hear what we're talking about, leaders and students, and really kind of set that up for them to be able to really get some good discussion time out of what we're doing on Sunday nights. So from 5:20 until 6, they'll be in here for our worship tabernacle time. And then from 6:05 to 6:40, they will actually be leaving from here and going to a room within our church for their small group time with their 2 leaders and the rest of their small group. And during that time, they'll be going over the questions that we have for them, that leaders will be taking them through, that has to do with the topic that we're talking about, as well as praying for each other, being there for each other. Our small groups are an amazing way for your student to get connected to 2 adult leaders who care about them, a group of students that care for each other, and a place for them to really get connected and find a place where they feel connected in our really large ministry that we do have here. And then from 6:45 to 7:45 will be their jubilation choir time for those 7th through 9th graders, okay? All right, for our 10th through 12th graders, their sunshine choir time starts at 5 o'clock on Sunday nights, from 5 until 6:10. We will have the cafe open at 4:45 if any of the sunshine 10th through 12th graders would like to come eat before they go to sunshine choir. They do have the option to go ahead and go through our cafe. And then at 6:15, they're gonna come into the tabernacle for their worship in large group time. Okay, we're gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna be worshiping together. We're gonna be able to do some interactive things with our students. We're gonna be opening up our topic for the night. And you can read through our master curriculum plan that has, you can see what we're going to be teaching for the year is going to be on as part of that master curriculum. Something else we also do is we send parent cues out during the week that lets you be able to take, so you know what we're doing on Sunday nights and what the topic is and what we're diving into, so that you can take that information and you can talk to your student about what they're learning and what they're talking to on Sunday night. So that's something else for you as well. Then at 7, from 7 to 8 will be a chance for them to run through the cafe, grab their dinner, and then go to their small group time, okay, for those 10th through 12th graders. I think that is all for this. We are really excited about what's happening on a Sunday night, the way that your students can get plugged in, the way the night's going to flow together, the way that we're going to open things up for further discussion in our small groups. So James is going to come up now and talk about our youth choirs.
Good morning. I'll make this real quick. My name is James Wells, and I direct our youth choirs and oversee our children's choirs here at the church. I see lots of familiar faces. It's great to see you supporting your child and wanting to encourage them in this new journey. I see a lot of new parents with 7th graders, and I see folks that have heard this before with junior and senior parents, and that means a lot to us too, to not just assume you already know it all, but being willing to come in and kind of connect with the new information. I can't tell you how important it is for your young people to get connected in a small group. That's kind of where it starts. That's where they can really open up and earn a lot of trust and share a lot with new friends and old friends. And with youth choirs, they're a long tradition. Many years before I came here, my background is in music education in the schools. That's where I learned to what I call crack the whip with a smile on my face. And it works. And I got thrown into church music as an invitation about 13 years ago when some of our 7th graders were being born. And I'm here ever since. This is my 7th school year as a full-time person here on staff. But one of the phrases that I picked up real quickly was you have to go where the kids are. And the reason choirs work is because small groups are meeting. A lot of reason why small groups work is because they come and they're passionate about singing in the choir. So if you ask our youth in the choir, more than half of them would say, I'm not a singer. But they didn't know that they wanted to give it a chance until they just showed up. So before your child before you let them get away with saying, that's not my thing, I'm not a singer, they can't really say that until they give it a shot. Our jubilation choir is for 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. and Sunshine for our 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. And if you attend the 8:30 service, that group is regularly leading us. The Jubilation Choir joins them from time to time, but most importantly does sing on their own. Our goal is kind of every 4 to 6 weeks. During certain times of the year, that's not as possible, but that's a goal that we have. So we culminate in some tours in the summer, but it's by far not all there is to it. So it's relationships, it is just kind of getting together and being joyful and silly and making music together and praying together and being encouraging to one another and loving one another. Ms. Wiseman's back at the Timothy Project table, and one of the scriptures that our choir focused on while we went on a brief retreat with the Sunshine Kids to learn some new music for the year was from Timothy, and David Pettifer shared this with us on retreat, and it's perfect because it ties into the Timothy theme that Travis was sharing about, but it's also perfect for all of us as we head back into a school year and we want to be encouraging. It says from Paul to Timothy, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." I would encourage your kids to have enough love and power within themselves to be inviting to small groups, to be inviting to church, to be inviting to Sunday school, to be inviting to choir. And the Spirit of God is all over them when they're willing to just take that step forward and be a part of something new. So I'm going to be right in here in a few minutes when you guys get a chance to share and get around and pick up and sign up and get some of your questions answered. If you are a parent of someone who's participated before, there's one sheet for you that just says, hey, here's some dates to hold on to for the year. If you're new, or your child possibly would be new as a part of youth choirs, there's a packet that's got much more information that kind of answers some questions that you probably would like to know the answer to. So if you're kind of returning, you get one sheet with just some dates on it, and hopefully you know a lot of the things that a newcomer may not know. So I'll be in the room there when you have a chance to get around and get some questions answered, and would love to meet some of you and shake your hand and get to know your name.
Thanks. Real fast. I'm sorry. I didn't say all of this starts up on August 28th. Something I didn't say, so that you know. Sunday night small groups, choirs, all that will start up on the 28th. Okay. And Sunshine's already meeting. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome, and that's on the calendar sheet. Does anybody else need one of these Parent Connect cards? Awesome. Oh. And where are those? I'll just kind of give you the stack, Janet. And are those, oh, perfect. The orange buckets are in the back. Make sure you get your card in there, and we'll do that in just a little bit. If your Parent Connect card is not in it, Roseanne has got those buckets back there. Okay, just talking a little bit about our ministry teams, continuing with this 2-page colorful sheet as well as the purple sheet. And I won't spend too much time about this because an opportunity you'll have a chance to kind of walk around and get to know these teams. But this is your students, if they were here at 9:45, had the opportunity to go around and sign up for things that they're interested in. In a little bit, you'll have the opportunity to go around to, maybe you don't want to help with all these, but you're just to know what the opportunities are for your youth to get involved in. You'll have a chance to go to these different tables out in the youth area. But a few things I just want to point out if you look on the colorful sheet, it's just a quick kind of name so you can see how many ministry teams we have. If you look on this 2-page purple sheet, it gives actual definitions and more detailed information about each of the teams. The first 4 are teams that meet regularly on Wednesday nights. The Sunday planning team, I'll just kind of give highlights on a few of them. That's one, Jacob Pogue is our student leader for that. Each team has a student leader who's applied. They applied back last school year. They're either a sophomore, junior, or senior. That's a leader, and he leads that with Travis Garner. And the team, the youth who are on that one, they get a lot of fun, and they actually write some of the curriculum that we use for our Sunday nights. They help come up with creative ideas for our videos and the content, and they get to have input on what do we actually teach? What do you guys care about? What do you want to learn about? So it's pretty cool that we have youth who are investing in that way and getting to kind of share their ideas about these are the things I struggle with and this is what I want to know. If you flip over on the back, the Odyssey Game Night and Harvest Hands. Odyssey Game Night was formerly called Poverty Project, and those were on different nights. Odyssey will now be on Tuesday. It used to be Monday. And Harvest Hands used to be Monday, and now it's going to be whatever I just said, they're flipping nights. I think I did the same thing at the student thing. The nights that are there are the correct nights. Missions team is a new one I want to point out. Olivia Steben will be the student leader for that. We've got some youth who, if they want to be on that team, they can invest in. These are the places we'd like to go and serve, help with collections and help with other things for missions. And then the two at the bottom, we don't actually have tables for those. Those are the two I was talking about that your youth, your high schoolers can help be on those teams and teach on Sunday mornings. That's what those two at the bottom are referring to. So that's kind of a quick overview, but you'll be taking that with you so you can read in more information about it. The green sheet is our commitment to parents sheet, and I'll just do a few highlights on this as well. The first one is communication. We try and get a lot of communication out there. The main way that we use with the most updated information is our Thursday newsletter. If you filled out that Parent Connect card, that's what we use to make sure we have your right email address. That's how we know if you want to receive our text messages. We send about 1 to maybe 2 a week to parents. We usually send about 2 a week to students. And that has retreat deadlines, reminders about things, about meetings, or just important kind of information that your student needs to know for you as a parent. We just made a parent Facebook page, and we'll be updating that with links to helpful articles that we find that are really important that we think would be good for you as a parent to teenagers. Like Travis said, you guys are the ones that have the most impact on them, and so we try and our best to resource you with that kind of stuff. So there's a parent Facebook page that will be, the link to it will be in the newsletter this week, and that's just for you guys. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do. I had several parents come early to show up to help with setup stuff this morning, and we had an awesome team of adults checking your students in that did a really great job. And we can't do it without your help and support. So we appreciate that when you do serve and helping us in that way. Resource, Allison mentioned one of the things earlier about the parent key questions that are in our newsletter. That's something that's fairly new. And then there's a couple other things on there. And then participation is at the bottom. And Carrie will be talking about it in just a minute. But Travis is going to come and share a few of our calendar highlights. Apologize if I talked kind of fast. We're trying to move along here.
So the blue sheet, this is our calendar for the fall. I just want to highlight a couple quick things real quick, but I hope you'll take a chance to read through all of this and hang it on your refrigerator and frame it, or whatever you want to do with it. Make several copies for your home. It's beautiful. Look at it. Okay, a couple of the highlights are we have retreats. We have a junior high 7th and 8th grade fall retreat that happens October 21st through 23rd. I highly encourage you, if you have a 7th or 8th grader, to sign them up for that. That is an incredible way for them to get acclimated to our ministry and meet other people and to hang out with Neil. I mean, that's going to be fun. And yeah, absolutely. We have a progressive dinner in December. It's the world's largest progressive dinner. That's where we go around. We don't know if that's true, but we say that. That's where we go around to several different homes and eat food, and it's a fun night. It's kind of our Christmas party. And then our biggest retreat of the year, it's for all 7th through 12th grade students. It's called Breakthrough. It happens every year, December 28th through 31st. It's that week between Christmas and New Year's. They're bored. You don't know what to do with them. You've got to go back to work. Just send them with us. It'll be fun. You could take a few days of vacation and come with us, and it'd be even more fun for you. You would really enjoy that. So, and then I can't believe I skipped this. One of the best things that happens all year long is our choir Christmas concerts. November 27th will be in the Narthex. If you've never been, it's beautiful. You'll cry. I will. Don't judge me. Okay. Those are the big highlights of the calendar. There are several other things. I want to jump ahead to some fundraising opportunities. I'm going to ask Gemma Hurst and Cynthia Armstrong to go ahead and come on up. Did you steal the microphone? You did. There it is. They're going to come talk about our 2 fundraisers that we have. One is the Kids Sale, which is a children's consignment sale, and the youth ministry has benefited from that, and the Share the Spirit auction. So you guys coming up, and then yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Armstrong. I have 2 students in the student ministry. I have an 11th grader, JR, who's one of the Sunshine leaders, and Jessica is in the 7th grade, and excited to be here. We are preparing for the 28th annual Share the Spirit auction. that benefits and promotes both the youth choir trips as well as our summer student missions. And we need help from everybody involved. We have anything from leadership to asking for donations to set up, tear down, or just being willing to do whatever you're asked. And our sign-ups are also going to be in the green room behind this door over here.
Hi, I'm Gemma Hurst. I am the volunteer coordinator for the BUMC Kids Sale. And so, what is the Kids Sale? Well, the Kids Sale is an opportunity for people to consign children's clothing and items. They get 70% of the profits. 30% of the profits go back to missions and outreach within this church. This is a completely volunteer-based and run organization. We need lots of help as well. And the fall sale this year is going to be September 13th and through 17th. Why is this important to you? Well, that 30% that goes back into the church, over 50% of that last year went to youth missions money. That is a huge amount of that profit. We send thousands of dollars into youth missions money. So why I'm here today is to ask for your help. I need warm bodies. And in the past, Travis has let the children or the youth have always been such a big help to us. They've set up on Sunday morning and taken down all our racks and just worked hours trying to get all our racks put up and taken down for us. They also have been able to put their name on a list, the people that show up to help, to get part of that missions money credited towards a mission trip they might decide to take or a mission within the community. This year, Travis is going to let us extend that to any parent that's willing to work for me or for us during the week to help us get in all the consigners things and then also check them all out. So we need help anywhere between Tuesday, the September 13th, through Saturday, the 17th. The majority of people are normally people that have young children that work for us, so they're able to fill those early morning shifts, but the afternoon shifts and the Saturday shifts and the Thursday night shifts during the pre-sale are the harder ones to come up with. So if anyone is willing to give me a little time, you will get credit for your youth towards that missions money. And it is a wonderful fundraiser for you guys and for your children, and it's a wonderful way also to give back to this community. Not only do we give to missions, but we give to other outreach programs within the community and within the church. We've given to Harvest Hands, we're a big supporter of Harvest Hands, the children's school in South Africa. Just countless ways that we've been able to give back. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Brenda's our money girl and has given countless hours of her time. John's our security man, I know, because he looks so nice and strong. He's been our wonderful security man for years. And I see a lot of familiar faces out there that have really helped us over the years. But I want to get more people in. It's a fun way to meet people, and it's a fun way to help out your youth missions. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. That's actually, I want to point out John Wood too. John's in the back. John's here with us on Sunday nights as well. He's our security because James and I are celebrities, and so we have people who just won't leave us alone, and so John's here to protect us on Sundays. No, but he is here for us every Sunday night faithfully in case we have any issues that come up that where we need him, and so we appreciate that. Carrie Pogue is going to come share. Carrie is the chair of our youth discipleship team, and I think the best way to describe that, it's like our youth ministry PTO, sort of. And so she's the chairperson for that. She's going to talk a little bit about volunteer opportunities.
Yes, I'm supposed to highlight volunteer opportunities, and I didn't know that there was any till I heard all these people talking before, right? Yeah. Now y'all are real nervous. We do have a lot, and as I told Travis in one of our first meetings when Jacob was starting 7th grade, my senior now, I said, I thought I could just scoot him in there and go, see ya. Didn't know I had to do all this other stuff, or there was stuff available, because in elementary school, you're busy helping, and in middle school, they kind of don't need you anymore. So we do need you. And if you'll look at the yellow sheet in your packet, you can see just how much we need you. It looks a little overwhelming, but they've broken it down into weekly, Sundays, seasonal, one time. And so, you know, these fall retreats, some of you have been on these choir tours with me. If you don't need much sleep, those are good volunteer opportunities if you don't require it. Some things are as simple as just data entry. I know Roseanne may need some help in the office one day entering who all was here on Sunday. That's a simple thing to do. Small group leaders, you know, are weekly on Sundays. So there's several opportunities. Our kids, I've been down here since 7th grade. And the bonus of being down here and volunteering is not only do you get to see your kids in action, but you get to build relationships with these fantastic children and our great youth staff who do such a wonderful job with them. They love them, they take care of them, they check on them. We couldn't be more fortunate. Jacob and Charles had something happen 1.5 years ago. My mother-in-law passed away. And the calls that we received in three days, the visits, I mean, you just can't, there's no way to describe the feeling I had in the relationship I knew my kids had with their youth staff. Let's see. We're about to do the ministry fair, and I know there's a highlight reel, slide reel. Are we going to do that? Okay.
The instruction slide for the ministry fair.
Ministry reel. The next one. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so when we dismiss, we're going to move to these. You can see the green room, which Cynthia talked about being back there too. We'll have the youth choirs plus her sign-ups for the Share the Spirit auction. And in the prayer chapel, the prayer team, the youth cafe, harvest hand, special events, and the Humphrey Street Coffee House. The hallway, if you'll go down, is that the hallway behind the youth? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The hallway behind the youth choir going toward the church will have the Connect team, Sunday planning team, media team, and actor sign-ups. Praise bands and sound team and missions team. And 61st Avenue and the Odyssey night should be in here. Is JR, are they supposed to be back there? Okay, back in that corner. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you. Okay, just one more housekeeping thing, then we're going to draw some prizes. Who's excited? Yeah, make sure you get that in there. That's good. There is a medical release form in the back of your packet. Yeah, make sure you get these cards into the bucket. Allison, go hold that. There's a medical release form. If you have filled one of these out previously, there is no need to do that unless your information has changed. If not, Kristen Cole is in the back, and she can notarize that for you, and you can get that taken care of now. This is just a medical release, an activity release that will cover all of our programs and events. We have to have one for all of our trips, so if you do one now, it'll cover you. And now for the moment everybody's been waiting for. We're going to draw some prizes. The first, this needs to be a 7th or 8th grade. This is half off of a Merge Fall Retreat registration. Go ahead and pull a card out. Neil, come pull quickly. Kim Klippenstein. Half off, Merge Fall Retreat. Here you go. Congratulations. All right, next. This would be half off a Breakthrough registration. Amy, and forgive me, I need help pronouncing your last name.
Judah Galvis.
Yes? There you go, half off of Breakthrough. Judah Galvis?
Yes.
Got it, I got it. And then, oh, there's your, no, I gave you the wrong thing. There you go. All right, and finally, a membership, the inaugural membership in the Humphrey Street Coffee House Mug Club. This will get you free coffee anytime the cafe's open this entire school year. Here we go. Yeah, I knew you guys would be excited about that.
Travis, weren't you just drinking out of that?
I was. Sarah Loving. Woo! There you go. Yeah, always have this with you. You can try that at other establishments too and see if they'll honor it. So, I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and dismiss you guys.